And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Cursing Tom Cart 37. Great name. I don't mean that facetiously. I just mean sometimes I just see these names. Sometimes I go like, how do you think of these things? And you ask the question, okay, who would win in a fight? The fourth Overlord from Overlord, the game series, I think, versus Gru and his minions. So this is going to be this I wasn't going to put on the speed round because for the same reason, because of the same reason I'm doing it as its own video, because I don't know a lot about the character. I don't know anything much about the series. All I have to go off of is kind of a wiki page. I am sorry if you're hoping for something more in-depth. I've never played this game series at all. So this is why I didn't want to do it in a speed run, because I didn't want to just throw them away. Or not, but I also still wanted to at least try to honor the request. Gru and his minions, though, those guys I know at least a little bit about. I think he's in his 40s or 50s, I think, by the time the first Despicable Me happens. That's actually a good question. How old is Gru? Let's find out, shall we? Despicable Me now. Boo, boo, boo. The Felonious Gru is... Actually, he's in his mid to early to late 50s throughout the trilogy of Despicable Me. So he's a guy basically hitting kind of like his 60s. But he's the main character of the Despicable Me franchise, basically. He was a former criminal genius that, tried to, we are going to steal the moon! He just steals stuff, being an evil guy for the sake of evil. Of course, in the world, Despicable Me, being evil isn't necessarily evil. Like, they're their own rock stars, honestly. And some evil is worse than other evils. He isn't truly all that evil, even in the first film where he was evil. But even without his inventions, his tech, he's extremely smart, capable. Obviously, he's a master inventor. He's capable of hand-to-hand combat, as well as very athletic. There's obviously the scene where he invades, I believe it was Vector. Was that the name of the first one? Because there was 3 movies. Where he goes into his hideout, and he just literally just does the Batman with his hand to a shark. Was a crocodile, one of the two. Either way, he's actually much stronger than you give credit for. Obviously, he's got his freeze ray, his shrink ray, fart gun, laser gun, lipstick laser, rocket launcher, jelly gun, big blaster cannon, inflation gun, sticky fingers. There's also, I think, a cheese gun at one point. He has the Gru airship, Gru mobile, Gru rocket, Gru motorcycle, and Gru's flying scooter. That's really all you really got when it comes to Gru, and of course he has the minions at his side, which are loyal and can take a lot of hits. They are shockingly durable. So they are more than capable of. Sorry, I thought I had a bug on me. They are more than capable of overwhelming Gru's opponent if he were to command it. Plus, a couple of them, as we learn in the Rise of Gru, are trained martial artists. So there you go. The fourth Overlord, known as the fourth holder of the Overlord mantle, is and fiercest enemy of the glorious Empire, who lied a ruthless campaign in quest. Let me rephrase this entire sentence real quick. The fourth Overlord is the fourth known holder of the Overlord's mantle, and fiercest enemy of the glorious Empire, who lied a ruthless campaign of conquest that made him the undisputed sovereign of the world for some years. Traveling widely around the world in search of new lands to subjugate, the fourth Overlord has earned a number of epithets, I believe it's called, or epithets, and aliases from those who have suffered the effects of his vile actions. In Norberg Town, he is known during his youth as the Witch Boy, for there he experimented his first nefarious magical powers against other children of the city. However, today only his first mistress, Kelda dares to call him by that, and only to be used as his affectionate nickname. And the Elven Resistance, he is the scourge of nature. Following the destruction of the Norberg sanctuary by his hands and the agonizing death of all the creatures who lived there, in Glorious Empire, he is the demon lord of Norberg, following his bloody conquest of the snow-covered city of Norberg Town at the head of his demonic-looking minion army. When he was a child, he was also jokingly called by his minions, the Overlord. So, look, powers and abilities wise, this is really, there's not much I can find on this guy. All I have in essence is supreme constitution and strength, and natural attunement with dark magic. The full extent of this is not really known, at least not from what I can find. I can at least try to look around a bit more, but there's not a lot I can. There it is. Oh, holy shit! Somehow I had a tick on me. But I got it. I was wondering, it's like, I feel something on me. What the hell is that? I don't know how that got on me. I haven't been in Yardall. Anyway, it's unknown. Not unknown. It's hard to say what his powers are. I mean, minions, loyal servants. I mean, his minions basically would be just about anything like that he'd have under his command, including. I mean, I'm looking at the minions right now. They all look the same, just similar to like the minions from Despicable Me. There isn't a lot to them. Blaze, Gash, Gibble, Gloob, Gnarl. I mean, do any of these guys have any sort of... I mean, these minions, frankly, just look kind of like standard little goblins. Yeah, they all basically look the same. They most likely all have some unique abilities to them, which I guess they have over the Despicable Me minions, but that really doesn't matter, I suppose, because we have just a sheer number of minions versus them. Look, this is why I didn't really want to put this fight in the speed round, because I just don't have a lot of information to go off on this guy. So let's see here. There can only be one Overlord, and the being who gnarl and the minions call Master. If there were multiple beings who wanted to be Overlord, then they would have to decide among themselves peacefully, and otherwise, who would gain the position. There have been people at the same position over the top. That capabilities, magic, they're not giving me much to go off here. So, I mean, apparently he did have the power to, like, annihilate the life in, like, a small town area. And he did ultimately take over his world, which is something Gru never did. But, I don't know. It doesn't seem to really matter for this fight, I think. I think, based on what I can find here, Gru has enough diversity and actual tactics to probably figure out a way to overcome what magic he probably has. But again, I'm doing this based off of little knowledge I actually have to go off of for this guy. So, unfortunately, despite physical endurance, strength, durability, all that, I mean, Gru has the freeze ray alone. He can shrink ray. The shrink ray alone, I think, could probably just screw this guy over hard. So I guess I'd go Gru. I'm sorry this is not more exciting or more in depth or more in tune. Sometimes like, you should really do, more better research. Like, well, sorry that I don't play the game and there's not a lot more out there for him. Like, I Googled him and tried to find everything I could. There's not a lot on him. So, look, Gru's got a lot of strategic nature to him. He's a lot more physically fit than his body would let on. I think he is capable of winning the fight. Now, that being said, I say this knowing very little about the other guy. So, sorry, this video... People are going to say, why the hell did you do this video? Well, because it was requested. And I tried to do every request, no matter how well I know a character, because people like my videos enough to want me to do recommendations of theirs. I'll admit, there are characters in, genres where I get a little, fatigued. I'm like, oh, God, another one. But I still do it because, you guys watch me and you like my content to whatever degree you do. So I like to try to make you guys included no matter what. There are certain exceptions, like when it comes to what ifs. I don't do harem what ifs. Don't ever ask me to do a harem what if. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do a pairing what if either. That's just that's irrelevant to the story. So anyway, I digress. So if you know the Overlord better than me, please let me know. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a good one, folks. Later.